Game day is there. Clemson and Boston College. Look at this. Clemson's being priced like Alabama. Last 4 games have outscored their opponents 240 to 36. They opened 17. They're up to 20 against a ranked team on the road in prime time, and it's supposed to be under 50 degrees. 57.5 the total. Dillon back for Boston College. I don't think they're a top 20 team, but in any event, they're on a 9-0-1 ATS run in ACC games. Clemson on a 1-6 ATS run on the road in November. The rushing game's fantastic. Good quarterback in Lawrence. If there's one team that could give Alabama a game, it would be Clemson, but they got to win this one first.
Sure. Well, let me ask you this, and I'm just going to ask you this. Who's better, Clemson or Wake Forest?
Clemson.
Who's better? I'm sorry, Boston College or Wake Forest? Oops.
Okay, Boston College. Yeah.
Yeah. Clear. By how much would you say Boston College is better than Wake Forest? A touchdown? More?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yet, we saw Clemson laying exactly this spread, -20 on the road at Wake. My powering numbers is BC 2 touchdowns better than Wake Forest. And Clemson's laying 20 here. That is the level of betting market support we're seeing for the Tigers right now. They are just killing teams. As you mentioned, 63-3, 41-7, 59-10, 77-16, their last 4 games. And you say, all right, well, they played Wake. Wake stinks. They played Florida State. Florida State's imploding. They played Louisville. Louisville's bottom feeder. The one standout game there was NC State. And that was obviously perhaps, even though Clemson didn't win by the biggest margin in that game, that was the most impressive of those victories because of how thoroughly they throttled that team. So a Tiger squad that was -20 against Wake is now -20 at BC. That is legitimate betting market for respect. I've heard good about Trevor Lawrence. You know, Travis Etienne's been the monster. What's he? 998 rushing yards, 8.6 yards per carry, and 15 touchdowns on the ground, Pauly. Can the BC defense have any chance of slowing that attack down?
I don't like their defense. I had NC State earlier in the year, and Dillon didn't play, and NC State dominated for 3.5 quarters. And I guess if you bet it late, you got the money. There was a blocked punt. NC State missed a chippy field goal. Finley threw a couple picks, but I'm not sold on this BC defense. And I think it's a lot of points, though, Teddy, a lot of respect. And this will be the play of the day coming up. But this, it's a game changer, though, with Lawrence. The kid can actually throw in a big upgrade over Brian, in my opinion. But just like last week, they're going to have so many games where the running game is so good, and they have all those NFL players on defense, they can just run it, get out of there, and move on to the next game.
Sure. And this game, to me, really comes down to one simple handicap. A.J. Dillon, I always say, running backs aren't worth anything. They're not worth anything. A.J. Dillon's worth something. All right, A.J. Dillon's a legit, big-time NFL back. And if Boston College opens up the game and they're running Dillon, and he's just now, they're getting blown off the line of scrimmage, and they're not getting any penetration, they're not getting any ability to push Clemson off the DL, they're going to get killed because the passing game is not going to work. But if Dillon can grind out some first downs and shorten the game, Clemson's run defense, number 4 in the nation. But a lot of that has to do with the fact that teams have been playing from behind against the Tigers and have abandoned the run completely. BC blasted by Clemson, 34-7 last year, 56-10 in 2016. Ooh. So we're talking about an offense that has not worked, a running game that has not worked against the Tigers in years past. Yet somehow this year feels a little bit different, Pauly. Dillon, he's a special back, and that BC offensive line, as experienced and as talented as you'll find outside of a top 5 program in college football this year.
There's a banana peel there every once in a while. They lost to Syracuse laying 23 last year. They got beat at home by Pitt laying more than 3 touchdowns. So it's happened where Clemson's been a big favorite and gone down.
Like the show? Help us keep the lights on. Please make sure to comment, share, and subscribe to all the Sportsbook Review videos. Thanks so much. Best of luck. Enjoy the games.